there's two sources of people here tonight. So some of them are confused, and the rest of them are dreamers. And so there is, shh, hey everybody, shh. This mic's not too great. So today my sound system died while I hard amp, so it is what it is. But anyway, thank you Guitar Center for your used $100 amp. But so anyway, what this is, if you're slightly confused, is this is Dinner with Dreamers. You were either invited here by one of my friends or you were invited by Brett, in which case you were like, probably don't know what this is. But this started at my house. I called it the Log Cabin Party, and I got together with a bunch of my friends, and I direct and produce TV shows and music videos and films and documentaries all over the world. So I meet a lot of really random and interesting people. And so I thought, I'm going to have all my friends over, and so they can meet 10 people tonight. You might think 5 of them are weirdos, but you're going to find one that's going to be your great friend. But I'm one of them, yeah. But so anyway, but if you're not at the end of the night, if you're not, now this is a little different. So what I started doing is I started going to dinner with, at first, really 12 people and 24 and whatever people show up, and they would just pop them up. Sometimes, though, but if you're new, here's what I want you to do tonight. Sometimes I just have people tell their stories, but because Brett is a world-class, world-leading trainer, I wanted him to just train to do what he does instead of just tell his stories. So he came to the Log Cabin Party and he told some of his stories, but tonight, and so he invited a lot of you guys that are not in the Dreamer group, which is a secret group on Facebook. I'll tell you later about that. But so it's a mix of people. So if that way, it's some that are in his program or that are, you know, take classes by him. But anyway, it's just a bunch of really good people. My only rule here, and by the way, if you have a seat next to you that's open, raise your hand. We'll start dropping down here. Anybody? You guys got a seat? You want a seat? There's also a whole row over here. There's not a table, but there's a row of seating capacities. And then we're going to open up the other thing. Hey, open that thing too. That back thing, open that up. All right, cool. So what I want you to do first, has everybody started ordering, or how many's in that process? You've already ordered? Okay, so we're going around getting orders, and they'll just continue to do that. So at first thing you got to do is we're going to pick just your table, because this is our 2 table. Now, whatever 6 feet is, I don't care, whatever that is. And then introduce yourself real quickly, not very long. Just say, hey, I'm from, Texas, and this is what I do for a living, or, I do this, and this is what I want to do, or whatever it is your passion, your dream is, and or if you don't have anything, maybe you got the coolest thing you've ever done. Tell them the coolest thing you've ever done. There's been some really interesting ones come out of that. But so anyway, say hi to everybody. Start getting your orders. I'm going to pop back up here in like 5 minutes, so don't waste any time. And then whenever I get up here, this time let's all go, and then really quiet, and then I'm going to do a couple more things, and then we're going to I'm just handing it over to them, letting them do their thing. So, all right, welcome. And also, it's a rule. You cannot leave this building without saying hi to me. Like, that's the rule. So, all right, see you. Hello. That's funny. I always wanted to shush a bunch of people. Hey, Jamie, sit down. Okay. Oh, look at the silence. Okay. We're going to go ahead and Brett invited some friends here. So we're going to start with some music while they're still taking orders and doing whatever they're doing. And so Erin Kinsey is here from, did I say it right? Okay. I have a lot of names floating around in my head. But she is from Texas, so that automatically makes her cooler than 90% of all humans. But I'm from Texas, by the way. And but she's been touring with, Hunter Hayes? And open for him and stuff like that. So anyway, she's cool. So I believe she's been a voice student. And so he's going to, now Brett, I'm just letting him do whatever he wants to do. So I have no aspirations past this point of meet and greet. So, but come on, so give us some songs. And everybody give her some attention.
Check 1 2. Well, I've taken lessons from Brett since I was 12, and in the middle of October I'm about to turn 18. So I've been taking lessons from him and his associates for a while, and he's helped me a lot, and y'all are in for a treat. He's a really great guy. But these are some of my newer songs that I've written, and I hope you enjoy them. Waiting on that good morning text, hoping that you're thinking about me, hoping that you're thinking about me when you're miles and miles away. Boy, you're still right here on my mind. Oh, right here on my mind. But since I'm home alone, I put on your t-shirt. There's just something about your clothes. Put them on and you're still close to me. Even when you can't hold me, takes me back. I can smell that sweet cologne. When I miss you, I put on your t-shirt. Yeah. Oh, I put on your t-shirt. Out on that town with my high heels, black dress, hair done up just right. And boy, you know I took some time. I'm having fun with all my girls, and you're still right here on my mind. Oh, but I don't need to cry, 'cause since I'm home alone, I put on your t-shirt. Yeah, just something close to me. Even when you can't hold me, takes me back. I can smell that sweet cologne. When I miss you, I put on your t-shirt. Yeah. Oh, I put on your t-shirt. And there's nothing compared to your kiss, but there's a temporary fix, and I guess it will do until I see you. I put on your t-shirt. I've learned that it works when you're gone. There's just something about your clothes. Put them on and you're still close to me. Even when you can't, takes me to that sweet cologne. When I miss you, I put on your t-shirt. Yeah. Oh, I put on your t-shirt. When I miss you, I put on your t-shirt. Whoa. Oh. Thank you. Thank y'all so much. I just got one more song for y'all before Brett comes up and spreads his wisdom on y'all. But this is one of my personal favorites. It's called I Ain't Jealous. She's perfect, like a supermodel in a pair of Converse. And you're working extra hard to make sure I see you with her. This is the part where you try to get my attention. Maybe it's a good time for me to mention, boy, I ain't jealous. Oh no, if I haven't said it. Whoa, I'm so happy that you found another girl to love. Just once, don't screw it up. Good luck, she could be the one. Probably not, cause I bet you're only with her to try and get back at me. But don't you say I ain't jealous. Nah, no, I ain't jealous. And bless your heart, you probably thought my jaw would drop to the wood floor. And I'm sorry, I hate to be the one that ruins your party. But this is the part where you realize I'm gone. There's nothing you can do to change my mind. 'Cause boy, I ain't jealous. Oh no, if I haven't said it. Whoa, I'm so happy that you found another girl to love. But just once, don't screw it up. Good luck, she could be the one. Probably not, cause I bet you're only with her to try and get back at me. But don't you see, I ain't jealous. I know you want me to be, but boy, I ain't jealous. And why would I be? She gonna have to put up with all that ego. But I wish you both the best, better her than me. Boy, don't you know I ain't jealous. I don't know if I haven't said it. Whoa, I'm so happy that you found another girl to love. Just once, don't screw it up. Good luck, she could be the one. Probably not, cause I bet you're only with her to try and get back at me. But don't you see, I ain't jealous. No, I ain't jealous. No, I ain't jealous. Thank y'all.
All right, Erin Kinsey. Okay, so now we're going to be quiet. All right, I'm Eleni Williams, and this is the first of a series for music, and we're combining singing success with Dinner with Dreamers. So it all started at a log cabin party, which was the most popular. It was a log cabin panel of music leaders in the industry. So we had Jim Zumwalt, which is a top entertainment lawyer in the world. We had multi-Grammy winner producer Keith Thomas, who produced Barbra Streisand. Rick Barker of Big Machine, who launched Taylor Swift. And Brett Manning, who is the featured person tonight, and those are all friends of his and ours. And so it was such a popular panel that there were 15 to 20 people waiting outside to get in, so we decided to make it a music series. And we know, since this is Music City, this is one of the most important subjects for everyone. Brett Manning is one of the most important teachers. He's world-renowned. He's a protege of Seth Riggs. I don't know if you're familiar with Seth Riggs, but I'm going to read you some of his students here. Seth Riggs is from LA, and he taught Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, Barbra Streisand, Prince, Madonna, Ray Charles, and many others. So Brett has become a world-renowned teacher himself. I met Brett when Seth Riggs came to Nashville, and he introduced Brett at Belmont College. So Brett is one of the music industry's most sought-after vocal coaches. He has taught the likes of Taylor Swift, Luke Bryant, Keith Urban, Miley Cyrus. He's worked with Broadway casts, Les Miserables, Jekyll and Hyde, as well as Elton John's Aida. He's also the creator of the world's best vocal selling program. And so just to tell you a little bit more before I bring him up, so Brett's students have a little over 100 Grammys. They include Keith Urban and Taylor Swift and Luke Bryan and all that I just mentioned. So please welcome Brett Manning.
Feeling extremely millennial because I got my phone, because I will do a selfie with you all, which means I got to tag you all. I don't know how to do that, but I'll need a 15-year-old to show me. Look, when I first began singing, it was the hardest thing I ever thought I would ever attempt to do. So I remember myself way back in 1980 something, and in my bedroom trying to sing, and I had this break. Anybody know about that place where the voice goes up, runs out of notes, and you crack? I was, Okay, I'll yell, my throat get tight. Can't do that. Okay, I'll just do Prince and don't have to be beautiful. Okay, I can do that. I can just sing a falsetto. Well, you know, I can just yodel. How do I get through this break? So I bounced around from teacher to teacher, literally all over the place, all over the country, just trying to find somebody who could give me some answers. Went up to University of Utah, is where I went to college up there, and Utes, running Utes. You gotta say that, Utes. I was at University of Utah, read every book I could get my hands on, studied for years and years and years, and then I had a first lesson in 1991 with Seth Riggs out in L.A. And he was saying, oh, your problem is, and he talks like this, it's very, very interesting. He pushes his glass up. You know, Michael Jackson called a few minutes ago. You know, Stevie called. Sweet little old Yoda type. And he said, the problem is you're going up in your hard palate, so it gets too wide. He said, you need to go, oh. I went, oh. You go behind the soft palate, and you don't have to work so hard, the valve stays pure. And I went, huh. And literally every light bulb in my head from everything I'd ever read popped. And suddenly I know this. I know it. Knew it well enough to, before the end of the lesson, think, I could teach this. I didn't want to teach it, but I was thinking, I could go home and show my friends, and they'll love it. So I went home, and all my friends were breaking their, I said, I can get you through that break. Later on, I had revelation after revelation that singing is literally crying on pitch. Pavarotti said that. He said, you Americans not going to like how I say sing at a high note because you always say, open your throat, open your throat, open your throat. And the open your throat does not work. Now, that might be a slight exaggeration because if your voice is closed like this, you probably need to open a little bit. But if you're trying to open it like Jimmy Stewart and you're talking like this, it's a little unnatural. So I was told, sing like I have a golf ball in the back of my throat. Everybody do that. Open your throat. It's very tight, huh? It's like, so you didn't have a problem before I told you that. I didn't have a problem before the teachers I told me to sit there. And I'd be trying to sing a simple scale and say, lift your eyebrows. I didn't know my vocal cords were located up there, but I'll do it. Lift your eyebrows. Breathe as deep as you can from your diaphragm. Like, gosh, how do babies scream like that? You're like, can you imagine a baby going, hold on. Gonna give my performance, lift, shoulders back, and how is that? Is that good? Is it a good moment? Because I felt like my projection could have been better. But no, they just wake up and babies don't break. Because all babies are rock stars. And most rock stars are babies. Oops. Hope I didn't offend any people. So All babies are rock stars. They cry on pitch, which is what Pavarotti said. He said singing is crying on pitch. He says, you're not going to like this because I squeeze in my voice. I cry. I say, oh, give me an F here. Oh, it's off. Got to give it some juice. Oh, are we plugged in? Do we have power? Oh, gosh. It's off. There's our power. Here's the plug thing. Wait, is this in the? Oh, okay. Make sure this is. Oh, sorry. Okay, we need some juice. Yeah, here we go. So Pavarotti say, I cry. I go, ah. And I thought, that's kind of too easy. And then I make it louder, which is easy after 20 years, of course. So if you have a light right coordination, it means you didn't yell to get there. If you yell, if I say, ah! How many people have kind of heard or themselves have yelled a little bit to get through there where if you don't raise your hand, you're either a liar or you're lazy. Okay, you're lazy. It's okay. Everybody has yelled at one time or another to get to a certain note. We say, hey! So instead of the vowel saying ah, it goes, ah! The vowel gets too wide, splats. The larynx pulls up. Your throat gets really, really tight. But if the vowel stays pure, if I say, oh, it stays connected. People say, yeah, but it's really, really light. When can it ever get louder? Say, yeah, just step on the gas. If I'm there, now here's the difference. A truly dynamic voice is one that has loud and light, right? Everybody agree? Anybody have disagreement with me? That's okay. It's okay if you do. Dynamic is when you can sing the smallest note and the loudest note and they're not interrupted with a vocal break. If your voice breaks, it's not really dynamic to go, oh, yeah, I will always love you. You lost your dynamic. And although Whitney's one of the greatest singers who ever lived, at the time she recorded that, she was blowing out her voice. Remember? Was she singing well at the end of her life? Was she singing 20 years before the end of her life? She yelled. She got excited. Every one of us has violated a certain law with impunity. Let me tell you what that law is. We thought if we just do this harder, we'll get more from it. I just need to try harder. Benny, my coach, who's back there, I'll pick on him later. He and I do jujitsu. Benny, can you beat me with muscle? Nope. Can you beat me with skill? Absolutely. He's got a couple gold medals in jiu-jitsu. He's a bad, bad man. Don't fight him. Last time we were on the mat for a long time. He's a tough dude. When I get on the mat with somebody who's outweighs me by 75 pounds and's got muscle up here, I say, that stuff can't beat me. You got to beat me with this. If you don't have knowledge, you can't beat this. You can't beat this. You can't win this war with your vocal cords, with your strength, with your effort. You have to win it with knowledge. And when you find that the knowledge is simply that you're transferring from your chest to your head without a break, and then pressing on the gas on every note so you're light and right rather than strong and wrong, because what do you don't know about a wrong thing? You cannot make a wrong thing right. Right? If something's wrong, it's never going to be right. So abandon right one straight. Test afterwards, okay? So I continued with this Pavarotti line of thinking, is that crying on pitch was how you get a true dynamic. You don't interrupt the vocal line like Whitney did. Now, and how many of you have heard of Nashville's glorious singer, Wendy Moten? 1, 2, 3 or 4 of you. If you haven't heard her, she's worked with me and she sang on my record, which is a lifetime thing for me. She sings backups for Tim and Faith and Shania, Martina and for Julio Iglesias for 20 years. And she was neck and neck with Whitney. But Whitney's Whitney. And there's sometimes some people possess such tremendous swag that it doesn't matter how well you sing. Because how many of you know people who sing better than 99% of people on the radio in this room? All of us. But it's something about that swag. So that's an element we can talk about later. But first of all, if you have the voice that can have a long-lasting career, because the three greatest female divas of this time, Mariah, Celine, and Whitney, have all three lost their voices. Every single one of them lost their voices and then recuperated. Who's the only one to really get it back? Celine. More diligent, more disciplined, more desire. If you only have desire, but you don't have diligence and discipline, you're dead. That's a lot of alliteration, but I'm a songwriter. I can't help myself. And to lodge that into your mind. But Celine Dion got her voice back. All three of them had corrective surgery. But Mariah can't sing anymore. And I feel weird saying this publicly, but it's not like everybody's like, well, yeah, she can't sing anymore. How horrible to be the greatest singer in the world at one time. She was arguably considered the greatest singer in the world. And she can't win a karaoke contest today. So it'd be like being Michael Jordan and then playing pickup ball and getting your butt kicked. That's weird. But it's because there's certain laws that you can't violate with impunity. In other words, there are physiological laws to the voice where the voice wants to travel from the mouth up into the head. Everybody knows do you all know what head voice is? Have you heard of that? Some of you? I would put your hand on your head. Everybody go. Do that. Wee, wee. Do that. Wee. You can do that lick. Wee. This through the system. Can you hear this piano pretty loud? Is it pretty loud? Okay, good. As long as you can kind of hear this. Okay, we won't plug it in. We don't want that hiss. As long as you guys can hear it. Here we go. So here, if everybody says, wee, 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 and the guys are going to harmonize, and you're going to go here, wee, 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 and the ladies are wee, 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 together, wee, wee. That's a beautiful sound, isn't it? Everybody in concerted effort. You know what I mean? Concerted effort, right? Means together, right? Everybody in concert with the same unity of thought. Everybody's in head voice, and that's why the blend is beautiful. And if you get everybody in your chest, everybody put your hand in your heart and say, ah. That's your chest voice. Put your other hand on your head and go, wee. That's your head voice. Wee. Now slide down and see if you here. This gentleman here. What's your name, sir? Seth. Oh, I like that name more than you know. Seth, where do you usually break? About an F sharp G? Pull up. Just hear me just go ah until you break. So right there. Now look, his voice, by the way, is doing what it's supposed to do. E, F sharp, your voice panics. I got to do something. I'm going to push. That's panic, right? Or I'm going to disconnect. And if you disconnect, that's you being careful. It's you being protective of your voice. So when your voice breaks, let me tell you the simple exercise that gets through there. A couple different things that we can do, and we're going to do them together. It's going to be fun. Can you hear? Oh, can you hear me pretty good? Okay. Here's the exercise. All you have to do is do this. And some of you have seen this before, but it has to be done right. The same exercise done right makes a huge difference. Is you lift up on your cheeks and you go do that. Now, how many of you have done this exercise? A bunch of you. But how many of you done it with only modest results? A lot of you, right? The reason why is this exercise is done wrong. I do push-ups, a lot of them, but I do them differently than most of y'all. And if you see the way I do push-ups, you're like, yeah, those are a little more meaningful. And because of that, yesterday I did, I might be bragging a little bit, but yesterday I did 21 arm push-ups with both arms, 2 sets, because I've been doing them right. If you do something right, you get the right result. If you do the same thing over and over again, expecting different result, and you don't get it, that's the definition of thank you. So you have to change something if you want a different result. So when you're going, the tone underneath there is not P, not that doesn't help. It's not, that doesn't help. It's buh. It's like the word Bubba. That's my friend Bubba. Everybody say Bubba. No, Bubba. Now if I reach up here, Bubba, I tighten up, but I go Bubba. I don't tighten up. Same note. Bubba. So I go like I'm saying Bubba. Everybody do that. Now, Seth, you just hit the note you were breaking on and you didn't break. Let me hear just Seth. And Seth, you're going to do this with me. You're going to say, just you and I, brother. Now, earlier he broke there. He didn't break now. Keep going. No pain, no strain. Feels effortless. It's so dumb that this works. Seth again. He's not breaking. He's a half an octave above his break. Keep going, brother. Keep going. Yeah. Keep going. Come on. Why not? Keep going. You got this. You got it. Jordan, will you get me a beer? Keep going, man. That's a D above a high C. That's an octave above his break. Now, as much as it makes sense for us to applaud, because that was an amazing breakthrough on one exercise, and by the way, I've invented literally thousands of exercises, because almost every time I teach, I'm like, let go at this for another. Because there's this one sister who's raised around all white people, and she's like, I said, come on, man. Give me a, She goes, I said, that's it. She goes, Oh, there's my voice. So I invented an exercise for the situation. Every person needs something distinct, individual. That's called diagnostic. Everybody needs something reliable and consistent. That's called systematic. So as you heard, I have, and we're going to talk about this later, I got a little code for you all that you guys can get like a smoking deal on all my stuff streaming. I have the world's greatest selling systematic vocal training program called Singing Success. Some of you have heard of it, and many of you have used it. And somebody came here and said, hey, I was on that dancing show and where they sing and dance, and my team won. We used your program. I'm like, cool. So thanks, bro. Rocky Vignola? No, that Rocky Vignola. Hold on. Philip, hold on. Yeah, Bernier. Philip Bernier, yes. And you were on what show? Dance Wars. And his team won. They were doing my exercise all day long because they had a systematic plan of exercises that work. How many of you did P90X? I did it. It works. The only thing that doesn't work about P90X is the people who don't do it. If you buy it and you don't do it, it doesn't work. So the difference between dreamers who are fantasizers and dreamers who are doers are the people who take action, and they have this drive that leads them to what? What does your drive lead you to? Destiny. You have desire, right? Then you make a decision based on your desire. Then you have a direction. That's your plan. Then you have this drive that's unstoppable that leads you to your destiny. There's a lot of D's to get an A. But he just went to a D. Now look, there's no song with for lyrics. So what if he does this? Where we play the put that in place, Seth. Go like this, go. And all the men do this with him. Ladies, I'll bring you in here in a minute. Ladies, or men skate. I think all the guys. Now, if you lift up on your cheeks, it's going to be more relaxed. Go. Now, men put in the place of put ma, and you're gonna go mum 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 mum. And what it does is it gives you the feeling that you're running downhill instead of uphill for the note. So guys, together, start a little lower. Mum 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 mum. Bravo. Nice, Seth. You're not breaking now. Wow. Dang. Mum 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 mum. That's it. Mum. Wow, there's a high C. That's Pavarotti's high note. C sharp, no breaks. Keep going. That's it. Mom, mom. Seth, you didn't break.
No, we didn't.
Anywhere. You got an amazing, amazing voice. Oh, gosh. Something, hold on. Hold on here. I need to take a water break. This is something for my health. And this is something for my happiness. All right. So, now here's the thing. I'll tell you why the mum works so well. And by the way, like I see, these are just 2 exercises out of thousands of exercises I've invented and categorized in my long library of exercises in my program that's sold around the world. And I'm not boasting in that because guess what? I could die today and who cares, you know? What I care about is that lives are being transformed. You know, I don't want to leave cash just for my kids. I want to leave a legacy. It's much more important. God bless you. Dio ti benedica, as I always say. Every time I go to Italy, I've been there 7 years in a row, and I always say, Dio ti benedica, and they go, ah, maestro, very nice. So the principle is that you stretch out your vocal cords with the least amount of resistance in a way that allows for connection, because you're trying to get from E to E without breaking. Going E, if you and what happens is you find out, and ladies, we're going to have you sing here in a minute too. We'll do a whole bunch of exercises, and then we'll take some questions, and I'll talk about voice theory. Because you have a head and a chest voice, there is a voice that mixes those voices. Does anybody know what that is? Chest voice is eh. Head voice is ee. And your hand went up. What is it, brother? Mixed voice, yes. But what is that voice that mixes the voice? That's a tricky question. Ah, that is another voice. It is the mixed voice, so he is right. But there is a resonator that blends the voice, and it's called pharyngeal. Everybody go, mmm. Mmm. Now, do cats break? Do cats break when they're mad? They're going, oh. They don't, do they? The cow breaks and goes, mmm. Like, man, you need to work on your vocal cords. You're messed up. But the cat, wow, doesn't break. The baby doesn't break. And your dog doesn't break. And my dog taught me to sing and to whistle. I found my whistle voice years ago. I found that I had a 5-octave range, kind of weird. I increased my range from about 1 octave and a third, meaning Star Spangled Banner was hard because it has 1 octave and a half. And I was like, on good days, I can sing Star Spangled Banner. Now, because I got 4 really comfortable octaves, but 5, some days 6 octaves, I've hit every note on the piano except for the top one, which is 7. I don't care. Nobody wants to hear, right? They don't want to hear somebody sing like a dolphin. It's like, that hurts my ears. But proving that the vocal cords are far more flexible and capable was my thesis. And what I found, check this out, y'all. The vocal cords are housed in your throat on a horizontal, like this, in the shape of a V. And they vibrate along their entire length, like this. Ah. When they go to falsetto, they break apart. Ah. When you do this, why is harder higher? Higher is not harder. It's different. I worked with Claude McKnight from Take 6. He's got 10 Grammys. Brother Brian McKnight. He's the highest voice in the group, but he talks the lowest. He's the bass. He's like, hey, what's up? This is Claude. You reached me. And deeper than that. But he understands the vocal cords are a zipper. As a matter of fact, when I was teaching him 20 years ago here in Nashville, we were doing a gig. He was doing a gig with the Wooten Brothers. Anybody see the Wooten Brothers? If you haven't seen them, you need to see them. Yes, those who know. And he was singing fine in 100 ways. He goes, yeah, I'm just going to try some new high notes because that's my vocal coach, Brett. Brett, stand up. And I'm like, oh, no. As they're clapping, like, no. And he said, yeah, Brett's been working with me, and he's playing my vocal cords. I used to try to stretch them like a rubber band. He explained that they're more like a zipper. They zip up. So thank you, Brett Manning, for helping me with my zipper. I mean, my vocal cords. I'm like, yeah, Claude, you're embarrassing me. But they zip up. And so here's the thing. If I stretch my vocal cords, they break apart like a breaker switch. You don't want to put so much power that you blow the sucker out. So instead, they zip up. And it's just a squeak. People say, that's really not very pretty. I said, yeah, I'm like just trying to hold on to this chord for a minute here. But if I can do that in a scale, when we do this, we get through those transitions to some stupid high notes. So if I say, oh, I went to another room. It's called whistle voice. Mariah Carey goes, help me, Lord. I've been teaching since early this morning, so I have to like pray before I sing. That's an F above I C, Minnie Riperton's high note of Loving You, and Mariah Carey's high note of And You Can't Remember. That one, that's the name of the song. It's not that you can't remember it. It's called And You Can't Remember. And you don't remember, and it's a high F. So if I was to do that, if I go, now how do I get there? I go French, which is the opposite of 99% of my vocal instruction I had before. It was open your throat, wide. And what did Pavarotti says? Open your throat does not, anybody remember what I said? Does not work. Strangles your voice. Remember we like, if you're swallowing a golf ball, man, somebody's creating a problem that you didn't have before you started. So French people, mon chéri. So I said, instead of going, and I wanted to sing Prince because I like Prince and rock and pop and everything, and I tried to get up there. I couldn't do it. And I found this French, mon chéri. There's another room in there. The elevator went to the 3rd floor. And I kept going. And then I found another room here. And I was like, oh, I've discovered something. Holy cow. I think everybody can do this. And Benny, who teaches for me, Benny, just stand up for a second. This is a brilliant vocal coach. He's a brilliant man, a great singer. Wait till you hear this man sing. He's the second coming of Jeff Buckley. He sings, I Am Telling You, and I want to brag on him only because it's true. Flattery is given, it's not earned. Compliments are earned. You pay a compliment, you give flattery, right? It's a debt. So I dig deep when I have to pay a compliment. I'll tell you, that guy sings Bruno Mars. Did you have that in the beginning, Benny? No. Can almost everybody sing as high as Mariah Carey? Like females? Yeah, but people who come in to work with you, all these women, what? Every day. Every day women go up there. Now look, do you need those notes? No. You don't need those notes. It's really super stupid high. But if you have a Ferrari, you probably should drive it around once in a while. And you find out that you got notes. Seth went up and hit that D. He should probably do that once in a while. I only sing like 2 high notes a show. And the guys from Janie back there was doing a gig with me, and I was doing a songwriter night. And the guy from, what's his name? Reliant K. I always forget the name of that group. I don't know why. Reliant K. Christian rock band. And I think it was drummer or bass player or something. He comes up and goes, dude, man, he goes, like, we use your program to warm up. I said, oh, cool. You're the one. I said, we use your program to warm up. And he goes, I just wanted to see if you could sing that note, sing those high notes. And he goes, I've never heard anybody sing that high in my life, a male especially. And I said, I must have warmed up. I just get about embarrassed and sheepish about it. But the only reason I sing the high note, I don't want to be forgotten. One high note, and they'll talk about it for 10 years later. Haley Williams, who I trained from Paramore, one show just decides to just pop up and sing an A in her whistle. As a matter of fact, if you go and type in Haley Williams, Brett Manning, YouTube, whistle, you'll see us both doing a harmony here. Oh. Doing us both harmonizing in our whistle and backstage as I'm warming up for a gig. People talk about it for like 5 years. I heard Haley hit a note as high as Mariah. It wasn't as high as Mariah, and she knows that. She doesn't care. She cares that she's remembered. So you want to do something so that you're distinct. Because let me tell you, in this industry, in the music industry, you are either distinct or you're extinct. Can I get an amen? Is that true? So what do you have to do to get distinct? Well, first of all, a lot of the presuppositions which I operate on as a vocal coach are which was called way before my beloved mentor Seth Riggs. I say beloved. Way he still sings a woman's high C. This, and he's 91. Not bad for an old dude. He sings a woman's high C full out, and he's 91. And he's a baritone, and he talks like this. His voice is raspy and beat up from reflux and teaching years and years and years. And his mentor, a guy named Robert Weir, I'm giving you some vocal history. Robert Weir, who trained some of the greatest opera singers ever, talked about speech levels. He sings the same mechanism that you use to speak with, you can use to sing. And you know, often, how many I've been to an opera, and this guy's going, Papaganos, come to me, Papaganos. And then he starts singing, he goes, Mr. Harbenschlag. So you don't talk like that. Why do you want to sing like that? It's ridiculous. You know, people sing like this, you know. It's just weird. Or, you know, I mean, it's a little more charming. You go to Les Miserables and you hear somebody going. And he goes, suddenly becomes Sean Connery. He goes, God on high, hear my prayer. In my need, you have always been there. You know, it's like suddenly he's Sean Connery. You got the manners of a goat and you smell like a dung heap. You know, like you're not Sean Connery, dude. And if he's a little more natural, if he's God on high, hear my prayer. In my need, you have always been there. He is young, he's afraid. Now, that's a little more believable, right? I'm not trying to trick you. How many of you sometimes feel like you're trying to be tricked? Somebody's trying to trick you with all this copy pop where you go, oi, sorry, sorry. Those aren't even words, right? Goid for you, goid. Goid sounds like, you know what a goiter is? It's like where like your thyroid swells up and you're like this big goiter. Am I goid for you? You have a goiter? Doesn't sound attractive. And simply said, good singing will outlive bad singing. Bad singing is when you try to trick somebody because you're not authentic. Which leads us to something that you all possess today. And I'm going to do another quick little warm-up with everybody in about 2 minutes. Then we'll take a little bit of Q&A. Something you all possess today that is extremely magical. When a person answers the phone and you answer, if you're calling from a different phone. See, now everybody's got caller ID. It's not as fun. Back in the day, just hello? And then you hear their voice and you guess, right? And you knew. Because they had a distinctive tone. And you knew that person. C.S. Lewis says, we read to know we're not alone. Today we get on Facebook to know we're not alone. But to be known is way different than not feel alone. And to be known means that you express your music to a person in such a profound way that they literally find that your music is your personality externalized. If you can externalize your personality through your voice, 2 or 3 times doesn't. Everybody says Christopher Walken. Remember? Hey, you told my guy all wrong. It's the wrong tone. Do it again. Oh, stab you in the face with a soldering iron. It's kind of spooky. His personality is so much bigger than life that you can't ignore him. The guy was I'm a Texan and I'm American and these tourists, there's a word for it, they're bad. Or ladies, I love you. Oh man, I'm slick. You know? Or well, Nancy. You think about this. Politics aside, please. Every personality, every president has had a huge personality. Regardless of what you think, let's keep that out of this conversation. Every single one of them have personality wins. Here, I'll take 2, 1 Democrat, 2 Republican who look like television program presidents. Square jaw, perfect black hair. Al Gore, Mitt Romney, Democrat, Republican. Can't win because you look like this and you talk straight. But if you're like, Oriole, no, come on. And come on. Or we're going to build a wall, you know, whatever. I can't do him yet. We're going to have to work on it. But if you have that, even with senior Saddam, don't like him, Jimmy Carter, I'm a peanut farmer, you know. Or, I, John F. Kennedy, do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution. You'd like to hear him sing, right? He'd go, oh, Marilyn, oh, Marilyn, oh, Marilyn, please don't tell Jackie about us, right? You know? Too soon? Still? It's that personality extended. So you just, with Frey, I know how to save a life. I would be disappointed if he didn't talk like this. Well, like, hi, nice to meet you. And then, I know how, like, you're fake, man. And now, I've never met him, but I'm guessing that he talks pretty close to how he sings. And all of you have distinctiveness in your tone quality. And hey, if you're not one of those all of you and you want to sing, then guess what? The simplest thing is find every known coordination in your vocal cords, which, thank God, I have. And my coach, Robin Earl, who's a good friend of mine from a long time, like a colleague, love what she does. And other great friends out here, we're all trying to locate coordinations in your voice and colors so that you have a palette to paint with that is so big that you can literally conceptualize of a sound and make that sound. The voice is the most plastic instrument. When I hit this piano, that's the only tone I'm getting. It gets softer, it gets louder. But the voice is the only instrument with a soul, with a nervous system, with blood pumping through it, that changes from day to day. One day you're great and another day you suck. And you have to have a plan to get through that day where you suck. And so part of this plan I'm going to share, so everybody's going to vocalize together. The ladies are going to vocalize down here. You're going to say, men are going to go. Ladies are going to vocalize here. Let's go. Ready together. For the ladies, guys. Here's the high C. For the guys. Now, all the ladies have this head voice, right? This gee, 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 gee. Ladies usually default towards head voice or chest voice. The like the Linda Ronstadt back in the day. She only sang in chest voice, right? It's so easy to fall in. She was, it's so easy. She didn't do that. But then she did a Broadway. Does anybody know what Broadway, Linda Ronstadt? She's up there. Poor wandering one, surely I was astray. Take heart to the day, the hastened retreats. And she said, poor wandering one. She had no middle. She had chest voice and head voice. She had no way of blending, and you have to be able to blend that to be commercial. So her thing was a nice, beautiful, warm chest voice, but she never did get through her middle. So there was kind of like, And then when she did Broadway, it was all head voice. And after that, her career never quite hit what it was supposed to be, because she was kind of vocally schizophrenic for a little while. So ladies, all the ladies, give me a gee, gee, gee. Now, when you say gee, what happens? It approximates your vocal cords without force. In other words, if you're going to go, hey, that's falsetto. The vocal cords break apart in falsetto. They're airy. Hey, it's a lot of effort. When you say gee, it's very little effort, because once the chords approximate, you make tone with very little effort. So all the ladies go, gee, 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 gee. Ladies. Now, ladies, can you change it from gee to very heady. Now listen, I want you to hear the sound. If we're all doing it together, it's going to be light. And guys, if you have the high head voice, sing with them. We're going to say together. Ready? Now, guys, here, gentlemen, ladies, together. Altos here, ready, together. That's spooky. That's really, really gorgeous. So that's all this head voice in this talented city of Nashville. I just love it. Now, that is a nice light head voice, but when we want to get in the mix for the ladies, we're going to get a little nasty. So you give me this ugly one, say, there ain't no way. All the ladies, there ain't no way. Say, nay, 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 nay. You did that very well, young lady. You're going to lead us. You say, nay, 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 nay. Really ugly. Nay. Now, that is the B flat where most ladies are going to either yell or flip into falsetto. It's an ugly sound, but it's an easy sound. So if I go like this, if I say, hey, I'm yelling. That's never going to get any better. Nay, 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 nay. It's ugly. It's nasty. But it's easy. And then, if I can just be open and honest about race, oh gosh, don't say race. White people are stupid singers. Oh gosh, I just picked on a white people who hates me. No, listen. We tend to sing with our larynxes high. So I'm playing basketball, a white guy blocks my shot. He goes, "Get that weak stuff out of here. I'm the man." A brother blocks the show. He goes, "Get that weak." Ooh, I want to hear that guy sing. Yeah. I was surprised when I moved to Tennessee. I was playing basketball, and this one guy, "Yo, man, you want to eat?" And I turned out, that's a white boy. He's got a little Elvis Presley in him. Because Elvis Presley ran around a brother, and he's always like this. "Thank you very much."
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for coming out, guy. What's up, dude, brah?
Right? It's like, "Thank you very much." It's like, "I did it my way." That tone is the low larynx.
High larynx. My way, my way. What comes around goes around.
Right? High larynx, whiny. Now, Justin Timberlake is through his life, as he graduated to solo career, he dropped his larynx a little bit, hanging out with Brian McKnight, listen to the duet they did. And Brian has a light, thin voice, but it's a low larynx. He doesn't go, "Love wanted inside." He goes, "Love wanted inside." Right? Low larynx. Stronger than you, stronger than I. It's a low larynx. It's a little more exciting.
So you want to hear that? Stronger than I.
Sound like sucking on a helium balloon there, boy. Got those pants up real tight, don't you? So when you get your larynx down, you
First go whiny. The nasty sound gets you there.
it's better than yelling. Better to be nasty than to yell. Better to go nay, 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 than half nasty. Nay, 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 nay. Then you get your brother on. "Get that weak stuff out of here." Right? "Get that weak stuff out of here." I'm on top of the note. If my larynx goes down, I'm sitting on top of the note. I'm not underneath it anymore. And this is why I've done singers, and they go back in, and after 3 weeks, sometimes 3 months of vocal therapy, doing these simple, stupid exercises, come back and they have these cords, they're scarred and nodules all over them, and the throat doctor shows me pictures, and they're clean and white and just perfect, flawless, because the voice is designed to work a certain way, and yelling is not it.
So ladies, give me this nasty sound. Nay, 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 ladies. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay.
Ugly.
Nay, nay, nay.
If you're married, do this to your husband, he'll love you. He'll say, "Nag, nag, nag." She goes, "That's right."
Nay, 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 nay. Nay, nay.
Now remember this back to go to that, ladies. Now go back to
Nay, 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 nay.
hard. Ready?
Nay.
It's a little more sound, isn't it? It's a little more bang. Now it's ugly, but whiny is better than breaking. You're at an E flat. The E flat, one note higher, you're hitting the note, the E full out, that Christina got her record deal for because she hit the E in Mulan on Reflections. Was my reflection somewhere? When she went up there to hit that E, nobody else could do it, and she could do it. You know why? Because since she was a little girl, she was going nay, 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 mom, 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 doing these scales since she was a little girl, so it was really easy. Now let me tell you, every single female singer I have, every single one sings any note Celine or Whitney I've ever done easily, because it's like crying. Do they sing as well as them? Most of them not. No. But they want to hit those notes easy. Aaron Kinsey, who sang earlier, sings double high C's consistently. This note with her voice. opens up and does it like she's relaxed and sings all the way down to this. So she's got 4.5 octave range. It's crazy. She has more voice than what she knows what to do with. Somebody, a rock singer, told me, I said, could you use more high notes? He goes, oh. He said he doesn't do voice. He goes, yeah, Brett, I respect what you do. I said, no, you don't, because you would never do this. He goes, all right, well, I respect that you know what you're doing. I said, all right, whatever. And we're friends. We're still. I play basketball with him. He says, I respect what you do, but, I don't do that. In other words, I'm too cool for instruction. I'm too cool to learn anything. I said, it's cool, don't learn anything. I said, let me ask you this. Dude, and I'm going to not mention his name because he's very well-known guy here. I used to play basketball with him in Green Hills YMCA all the time. I said, could you use more high notes? And he goes, duh, that's like asking me if I could use more money. Like, of course. It never occurred to him that he had not topped out. So he set his career kind of, one of those singers, rock singers. And he was like in the middle of his album, and this F that he was yelling to, he's up at at E flat hard. I said, let me do 10 minutes with, I'm going to give you 10 minutes of my time. 10 minutes, and he goes, hey man, can I just pay you and do a full hour? I said, yeah. And I will take your money. I like that stuff. It pays the bills. Money ain't everything, but it sure helps. And so I took him up there, and he called his producers right in there, and he said, hey man, stop tracking, man. We got to take my keys up a third of an octave. He goes, a third of an octave? He goes, literally, dude, we could take up half an octave. He went out on tour singing B flats, Bs, Cs all day long and totally changed his brand value. People were like, I didn't remember you being such a freak. And he goes, man, I don't even know what to say. And I told him, I said, just be humble when it happens, because remember, humility and pride, death. And pride and confidence think they're on the same side, but they're not. Confidence isn't really on the same side as humility. Pride isn't necessarily confidence. Does a bully have confidence? Talked to a bully in a bar. He kept shoving people around, and I talked to him very nice. I said, you can't do that anymore, man. He goes, or what? I said, I'm going to break your arm. And he looks, and some of my friends like, man, just don't even try, man. And he goes, you? I said, come on, man, let me buy you a beer. I'll pay off your tab if you just knock it off. Being a word that I said, being a something. I talked to him, and I come over here, and I sat by. I said, man, what happened today? He goes, oh, man, got a fight with my wife. And I said, look, you're about ready to go to jail with a broken arm over a fight with your wife. Man, it's not worth it. He goes, I know by this time we're friends. He goes, you would have broke my arm? He goes, how? I said, I'll slow you and show motion. I show him 4 different angles. I broke my arm. He goes, you would have broke my arm. Like, false pride doesn't have confidence. Pride is the posturing bully inside of you that says, I doubt. So what you need to do is train the F out of your voice. What do you think F stands for? Nobody say it. What? Train the fun out of it. There you go. Train. Smith's son, Jaden, in The Karate Kid, New Karate Kid. Saw that? At the very end, it's kind of like the old Karate Kid where he does his magic and heals the joint because somebody cheated and cracked his knee, and he's like, you don't, and he goes, Jackie says, you don't have to fight no more. You prove everything. You don't have. The biggest emotional, spiritual, physical battle. It was a custody battle, and thank God I won because I needed to. What? It was just. God bless her. But I needed to have those kids, and they're with me, and today I'm super grateful, and I didn't quit. But in that movie, he says, and I was fighting, and I was feeling his fight. He says, I have to fight. And he goes, and he's trying to explain why, and he goes, why do you have to still fight? You've already proved everything. He goes, because I'm still afraid. And I sat in the theater, and I promise you, I hate this about myself, but I cried. I sobbed. I was like, that's me. I'm afraid. Now, let me tell you, there's things that I'm still afraid of. But you paralyze fear with persistence. And what happened to me is I twisted this around and fought so hard until I wasn't afraid of it anymore. So when I say train the F out of your voice, you train the fear out of your voice. Till you get like, I don't have a great voice. I beat the living snot out of it from teaching. I'm always tired vocally. I'm a full-time single father. I don't sleep like I ought to, and sleep is one of the laws you cannot violate with impunity. You have to eat right, you have to exercise, and you have to sleep. I got 2 out of 3 of those. The third one's beat me up. I don't like to sleep. It's not smart, but I don't sleep much. And so I beat my voice up, but let me tell you, at any time, with any camera, anywhere, if somebody says, hey, will you sing for me? I say, yeah, I got this song that goes, yeah, like this, and I do it, and I'll love what I do. And I don't care. I don't have to be the best singer in the room. I have to just be the best Brett Manning. All I know is I'm in a fight with me, and if I go back 10 years, I'm kicking my ass. Pardon I don't like to swear. But that's what you're doing. So ladies, you did the nay, you got there, and that was deep. Now everybody do this. Next one last exercise. We're going to go, here's the thing. We talked about the bubba, right? Bubba is a low larynx. Everybody put your hand on your Adam's apple and swallow. Feel that larynx go up? Ladies, you have one. If you go to the very top of your neck and slide down gently, pressing not with force, you'll feel a V-shaped notch. It's tiny. Got so big of Adam's apple. You have a little Eve's apple. That's cute, huh? When you swallow, you feel it go up. When you yawn, you feel it go down. Go.
Now pant like a little puppy. Go.
Pant like a big dog. Does anybody know who Jimmy Nashville is? Almost nobody. Some of you do. One of the greatest singers I've ever heard in my life, rock singer. He only sings for crowds of 300 or 400, 600, 700. He's had a lot of cuts. A lot of you have heard of him, just don't know it's him. He is like the second coming of Bono and who else? Come on, Freddie Mercury. Yeah, I mean, the guy is just such a freak. He is like one of the freakiest singers. And he's a good friend of mine. He'd get ready to sing a note, and he'd go, instead of, and I will pay for, he'd go, like the big dog.
Big little dog pants.
Big dog pants. And his larynx is down before he starts. He goes, and I will pay for, I couldn't help her. And his voice would cut through that band, and it just, like razor. I said, that's vindication. I've been telling everybody, if you keep your larynx down, you'll sing with like ridiculous power very easily. Pavarotti says, I sing with my larynx down. He calls it covering. He says, I could go wide and sing, or, it's the larynx down. Yells. I hate even demonstrating, but I have to juxtapose right and wrong in order for us to know what's wrong. So, everybody, this is Bubba. Everybody say, Bubba. Feel your larynx down. Say, Bubba. Now, do this together. Say, guys, start down here. Go, Bubba, 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 man. Beautiful, man. Bubba, Bubba. Beautiful. Look how rich that is. That's brilliant. Come down, come down. Bubba. That's right. Now, nearly all the guys were making it, and those were the high note. That's John Legend's high note. He doesn't sing higher than that because he's a baritone. So you're singing high baritone notes, full out. That's a finished tone. A low larynx is a finished tone. Nay, 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 nay is the tone that gets you there. Buh, 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 buh is the finished tone. You're not ready for a finished tone. I'm just giving you a glimpse, a taste of what can happen. And let me tell you, not all of you can work with me because my schedule doesn't allow it. But all you can get my program and all you can work with. Benny's gets pretty slammed too, but Benny and my other coaches that are here, and Ben is back here somewhere too. There's Ben, and fantastic singer, one of the best singers in the world, right over there. And you hear him sing, and he lit me up. I'm tempted to make him sing something for you. Do you want to sing Hallelujah? Are you up to it? You want to do it? I think I can know the chords. Can you come? Can you make it over here, brother? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift, the major lift. Is it still plugged in?
No, it's not plugged in. Do you want it plugged in?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I'll just have you sing here. All right, brother. Y'all, this is Ben Waits. He's touring the world. He has an amazing story. Why don't you give them a few seconds of your story for the Dreamers? And let me tell you, you know what? When he came to me, I'm going to tell you, I was like saying, I don't know how this is going to work. He said, I want to teach for you. And I said, you're a great singer. I don't know how this works. Not only has he made it work, but his students love him so much that they're like, that his wife is like, hey, stop talking to my husband, you know? And he has his persona, his character are bigger than life, and he doesn't make excuses. And he is literally one of my biggest inspirations that I've ever had in my life. And I was so thrilled that he actually received my studios I've certified about 50 some odd teachers around the world. And when I bring a person to my studio, it's my invitation. I was like surprised that I asked him. I was like, no, I'm surprised that you're saying yes. And he's like humble enough to say, oh man. So let's see, let's give you a little hallelujah. This brother?
Sure.
Okay, man. So,
Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. The baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to her kitchen chair. She broke your throne and she cut your hair. And from your lips she drew the hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
ladies and gentlemen, Ben Waits. Break me up, man. Don't go see him in concert. I mean, do go see him in concert, but don't go see him in a concert. The reason I say that is the first time I went there, I was like, I asked everybody, I was sobbing like a baby. First song, I'm like, okay, good. The second song, now I'm getting warmed up. Third song, he's like, I'm on the floor. I mean, I just couldn't, I could barely scrape myself off the floor. By the time he warms up there and he's pinging C's and D's with David Phelps intensity. I'm not sure if y'all know who David Phelps is. If you don't know, you should find out. One of the most intense high C's. And he's doing it like he's whatever. And he didn't know he was going to sing, so I just pulled him out and made him jump in there to kind of a high, hard song that a lot of people don't like to do without a warm-up. But you can all get this, and I really want, I'm careful about making pitches because I'm not desperate. But what I am, I'm only greedy for one thing, and I really, really mean this, because I have to force myself to take Mondays off so I have time with my kids, and so I have time to do business and time for me. I can't teach all the time. That's why there's other teachers in this city besides me. But I'm greedy for your success. I really am. I mean, I am more excited when he gets it than when I get it. And I think you can see that, like when he's singing, I'm like, and people say, which student is your favorite? I said, the student who's in front of me. When they're in front of me, I'm like, you are my favorite student. Really? I thought he said he was. This was yesterday. The person in front of me, like nobody else exists except for this person. And my whole desire is to see them walk the red carpet and grab a Grammy. Now look, Grammys aren't everything. People pay for them. They lobby for them. There's all kinds of ways to get a Grammy. And tell you, when one of your students that you sent a text to saying, man, I thought you were going to win 3 within the next 5 years, and say you won 5 within the next 3 years, I'm happily wrong. And she says, I'm pinching myself, and I cannot believe this is happening. I literally cannot believe that I'm taking home all this hardware. I never thought I'd be able to do this. And like I said, a Grammy ain't the most important thing. Let me tell you what is, and you'd be surprised by my answer. Character. Don't sell out. If you take off all your clothes to get a record deal, which half of you all are going to be tempted to, and a good share of you will, and that's unfortunate, then you've sold your body. And if you sell your body, you've already sold your soul. Nothing more valuable. Remember who saw "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" He goes, you mean you sold your ever-loving soul? And he goes, well, I wasn't using it. And that's what I think of, like a good share of my friends who moved to L.A. And I'm telling you, I'm not trying to bash L.A. because there's some really good people there, good friends of mine who are in L.A. But there's a lot of my friends who go there and they change. It changes them. It exposes the weakness in their character, and look, we all have it. It's when you think you're strong enough that you're not. It's when you confess that you're weak, and I'm sorry, I'm going to preach, I don't care if I offend you, I'm sorry. But when you think that you can do it and you don't have God to help you, and you don't have something greater than you that you can cling on to, some other moral principle outside of yourself that's higher than self, that can strengthen you in the worst situation. Because I've made some stupid compromises. One's like, I can't believe I did that. And I got nothing for it. And I've known some people made much worse compromises. Nothing. 20-year-old girl sleeping with this, I'm never going to mention a name in my life, sleeping with a 65-year-old man because she thinks she's getting a record deal. And as soon as it's done, it's like, get away from me. Stop calling me. Stop calling me. And you know what he told her? He said, you're not good enough. And you know what? He was right. She knew he was right. She said, instead of develop my talent, I'll give him all of this. And she tore a part of herself off and gave it to him. She could never get back. And that creepy dude who just used her, and I'm telling you, there are a dime a dozen in this city, and they're a whole lot more plentiful in L.A. And people have no qualms about doing anything they can. I had somebody says, someone told me, says, I will do anything I can to get famous. I said, you're right. It's a damning indictment. So keep your souls, keep your character, keep your family, your relationships close to you, because this is a rough and beautiful ride. If you stick along for it, you can change lives. You can make people better than they were when you met them. You can leave an audience. If you go watch Ben in concert, he will paralyze you. If you write with Benny and do a session with him, and then you guys are sitting there in a session and he's harmonizing with you and you hear his sweet voice ring, you're going to be like, ah, and you're going to be singing with him. It'll paralyze you. Chanel, who's not here because she's 7 months pregnant, wanted to be here, started as a classical singer, and now she can sing anything. She was a head voice only singer, and she can sing anything. I want to take a couple questions, and I think we're going to be done, I guess. Is that right? Do we have time? Yeah, go ahead.
Goody.
All right. I have so enjoyed tonight and the singers, and I love, please give Brett a hand. And I just love You Are My Sunshine. Do you want to do a little bit of that?
Oh my gosh. You Are My Sunshine. Let's see. Well, it goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, right? How about see, if it's major, it doesn't make sense, right? Don't you think so? You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know. Please don't take my love, my sunshine away. And the other day when I was sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. But I woke and you weren't there. I held my head down, I just cried. Why is that in major? You can take the same melody, you can say like this. Give some personality. Say what we said. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my words. It's better in minor, isn't it? The other night, dear, when I was sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. Then I awoke, dear, and you were missing. So I hung my head down and cried. Are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Bless you. Remember I said it's personality externalized? One thing I haven't even touched on, I could do a 5-week masterclass just on how to milk the emotion out of a song. It's about reinterpreting something that already exists. To interpret means to bring to bring to attention, to bring to light the intention of the author. So I just dug up some chords because I know chords really well and I love them. And they love me. I love chords. And I love beer. I do. Love it. Love it. But you dig out of the chords and then you find melody there and you just reinvent and go off. When I was in Budapest, I did a big seminar out there, and at the very end, I wrote a song about Budapest in front of them. And the whole song, in 5 minutes, just did the whole song. And it was like, they said, well, how do you do that? I said, do you have conversations? I said, yeah. I said, I'm just having a conversation. And I'm telling you, it is that easy. Okay, you have some other?
Yeah, and I think that there's so much hope that we can expand our range and sing with freedom and have our beautiful tone come out. So I think tonight is showing us a lot of hope. And can anyone be taught to sing?
If your voice isn't like this and you have to press on the thing inside your throat and go, then yeah. If you can talk, and you can talk with a little bit, first of all, nobody's tone deaf. If you're tone deaf, which is the high note? Let me see, they sound the same. Tone deaf means you don't hear pitch. Means you hear everything monotone. It's a tone it's a BS tone. It doesn't exist. So I like to question the cliche and deny the definition. Tone deaf is not a real thing. Everybody hears pitch and everybody talks. Nobody talks just like this unless they are a robot. And by the way, Benny and I use that, and he was talking about that. We use a robot to get a person on pitch. Person, he goes, here's going. Let's see if I said, twinkle, twinkle, twinkle. They went, twinkle, little star. They're off. They go, twinkle, little star, I am a robot. This is where I sing. I don't sing on any other pitch. I just sing this pitch and I don't change no matter what. And then I start to express myself. And then spread the wealth to the neighbors. Your other pitches. Memorize one pitch, then do two. You're already talking down and high all day long. So nobody's tone deaf. The worst singers I've ever met, some of the worst singers I've ever met, who said, don't quit on me, please don't quit on me. I know I don't deserve to be your student. I said, well, look, work with my associate for a little week, a couple weeks. One of my associates, after about 3 weeks, well, more like 3 months, quit on this girl. She came and worked with me. She said, I know I'm like really struggling and I just want to do this. She ended up becoming my nanny after I won custody. And I gave her a place to live. She needed a place. And then 3 years later, she got a record deal. And that's that Poppy. Have you heard of Poppy? She's kind of the weird girl. Hi, welcome to the interweb. She's kind of spooky and freaky, got blonde hair. Have you seen her on there? She's got like 400 million views. But she's said that publicly, but she is. But she got a record deal. She went out and she can sing anything she wants. Literally, she's got 4 octaves of range. She's got any note she wants. But you know what she did? Every day I'd hear her, she's watching my kids. My kids would be singing with her too, and she'd be practicing. I'd hear her upstairs going, and then, and then singing, na 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 na, that na na ugly whiny sound and all these scales, and she just run all of her lessons, just one. And I said, I think you're doing too much. She goes, can I do that? I said, yeah. You're overdoing it. You're overtraining. 2 lessons a day. That's all. I said, how many are you doing a day? She goes, sometimes 7. But she worked so hard that I had to tell her to rest. There's some of you will work with me, and I'll say, man, how many times you vocalized this week? I didn't. Really? And you want to beat the greatest singers in the world. You want to beat out your competition. There are ears that are begging to hear something that's interesting. And you could be that person, but you won't put in the work. I'm a very sweet and loving, encouraging coach. When a person won't work, I don't understand that. My quote I was going to put on Facebook today, I didn't do it, but I was going to just do a little video and say, you know, I was bored once. because I don't understand being bored. If you're driven, you don't have time to be bored. I would love to know what that feels like. If you work hard, and look, you can't be afraid of work. You have to be driven. Motivation is BS. If I have to put more gas in your tank, driven is internal. It's unstoppable. It's a river. It flows and nothing can get in its way. Driven is jumping off a cliff and not looking back. You can't stop yourself once you jump. So if you're doing this, jump. And if you want to do this, if you're one of those people who says, maybe I can't sing, you don't know how many people. Another thing we were talking about, the Frank Sinatra. Another Frank was somebody who couldn't sing. He couldn't sing. He was horrible. And he took lessons with everybody, and it was forever before he could sing on key. And then finally, he started to shape his voice and have a tone. And legendary. His Christmas record is still, I think, the best Christmas record ever made. Sinatra. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. His tone is just like, I'm ashamed to actually try to impersonate him because it's more, I'm dreaming. It's like somewhere between light like Harry Connick Jr. and deep like Elvis, and warm and believable and personality times 10. And nobody's going to, even all the people who told you, Frank, you can't sing, I guarantee you, if he were alive still, he would say, yeah, well, you're not going to talk me out of my $100 million record sales, or 100 million record sales. Two other people in the 100 million club that you wouldn't believe. Neil Diamond, who my mom sang with him in Vegas, and she says he doesn't sing any louder than Sweet Caroline, ba ba ba. He doesn't sing any louder than that. He can't yell. If he yells, he goes, hey. He's not loud. He cannot yell. He has a very weak voice. That, we come to America. I was doing impersonations. She goes, no, it's too loud. And my mom's a fantastic singer. She's 78, still fantastic. Got an A flat above a high C and sings Phantom of the Opera like nothing. She survived 3 strokes and still sings up there. Amazing lady. But she said that he worked so much harder than everybody else and just refused to stop. And Neil Diamond just kept singing. People said, your voice is weak. 132 million records? I don't think he's going to give that money back. Do you? Personality. Remember I said something you all pronounce? His voice has personality. Tons of voice lessons. Just to get his voice to cooperate long enough to be able to sing a song and not lose it during a gig. And then the last one is our beloved local that I met when I first came to town and helped put together a boy band for him and coach the boy band, and that's Kenny Rogers. Another 120 million records or something like that for him. You can Google it. I don't know what it is now. But back in the day, it was 120 million records. And he's like, she believes in me. It's never louder than that. Never knows what she sees in me. He doesn't have any volume. He can't sing loud. Oh, he's a whisperer, a gambler. He's like so charming, one of the most charming human beings I've ever met in my life. Swag for days, and his personality comes through. And he tells what I was trying to show you here. He tells a story. Do you all feel different about You Are My Sunshine tonight? You don't think of it the old way. It's if you interpret a song in such a way to answer that question with a long-winded answer. If you learn how to interpret a song properly, and I hate to use the word proper because it sounds like sing it proper, but interpret a song authentically and externalize your personality through your music, you will be unstoppable.
And we want to open it up for you guys to ask questions if you want. I was just going to ask, how often should a singer practice and for how long? Woo.
Bless you. Minimum of a half an hour a day. And people say, only that much? A half an hour concentrated. I've had personal trainers who worked with me, I mean physically, for an hour and a half, and some who worked with me 20 minutes. Which ones do you think were better? The 20-minute guy. Because we got it done. We got it done. The guy I'm working with right now, we get it done. I'm getting stronger because I'm doing things different that I wouldn't have done before. I'm adapting. And by the grace of God, I feel younger today than I did 10 years ago. I'm 52, and I feel fantastic. And I want to get younger. I'm trying to push that Benjamin button. Oh, you see where I went? See how I did that? I want to get younger. So here's the thing. If you are smart about it, 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, fine. But then you want to be able to learn your music, but you memorize it with your mind. You don't have to memorize music with your voice. People sing a song over and over to learn it. Just learn it in your head. Figure out how you want to sing it. Sing it mentally, and then spend your time. And those are things that we can help you with. I mean, I hope to see a lot of you. And there's other, like I said, there's other. I respect my colleagues. I love my colleagues in this town. This town has got some of the best vocal coaches in the world, really, right here in Nashville. They do. Now, I love. I'm obviously going to defend what I do because I love it and I know it works. But I also know that there's great singers coming out of these other studios, and it's undeniable. So I always want to give cred because there's other people besides me. But you have to work with a coach if you want to get to that next level. When I work out to myself, what do you think I do? I do the thing I want to do. I love to run. I love tons of push-ups. I love pull-ups. I don't like these. Anybody like those? Bend over and you go, like when you do that, unless you're hitting your kids in church, like, shush, stop it, stop talking. Smack them on the leg, stop talking. That's the only time you use that muscle. You don't use it playing basketball, you go like this, right? Yeah, like kids, shush, shush. That's the only time. That's the worst exercise I've ever done in my life. But guess what? When I do it, my arm is sore for like 3 days. So you work with a trainer to do the things you would never think to do. And plus, like working with my program, a bunch of you, I hope you all get it because it is fantastic. My royalty rate is so small, it will only make a small dent in my income if you get it. But it will make a huge dent in your ability, a huge quantum leap in your ability. I know this because I hear this every day. And if you ever want to come by the studio, I hope you have a. They're in the thousands and they're worldwide. We've sold in about 170 countries worldwide. Thank God. I mean, I don't know how it happened because I think honestly, I'm just going to be honest. I think I'm an idiot. I'm the dumbest kid on the block. I don't know how I did this, but I did. I'm not going to give it back, But you work with somebody who can guide you through and you figure out how long to work, whether it's 30 minutes a day, and some of you work an hour and a half a day, but it's about being smart. If you do the wrong exercise and you blow out your voice, then I've had people say, 20 minutes in my voice lessons, I lose my voice. And I had one girl come to me, I remember, Duffy, way back in the day, still friends with her. She lives in Washington, D.C., does fundraisers for both parties. Fun job. She says, in this first lesson, she goes, wow, Brett, my voice doesn't hurt. I said, what do you mean? She goes, my voice always hurts whenever I take a voice lesson. I said, really? I said, because you're trying to swallow a golf ball and sing at the same time. And she said, I just can't believe this singing. I just never knew it was going to be this easy. And that's literally what we hear every single day. It's like, if I would have known it, the answers were this easy, and they are, then I would have pivoted, switched directions a long time ago.
What are the most important things a singer needs to have a career?
Oh, whoo. Pitch, kind of sting on key is helpful. Duration, can't be losing your voice. A lot of what I deal with is a lot of labels call me all the time and say, this guy's losing his voice every time he sings. This girl's losing her voice every time she sings. Pitch, duration, and quality. Tone quality. If you have a good tone, it's really hard to stop you. And it doesn't have to be the prettiest tone. It's got to be interesting. And if your tone is interesting, people will latch onto you. Harder harder to define quality that a person needs to have a career is this. They think that quit is a 4-letter word. If you like the word quit, if you're saying, I'm going to try, I think I might, yeah, go try. Somebody said, I said, hey, I'm going to have a songwriter. I got Ed Cash and Scott Cash and David Archuleta from American Idol, and a couple of my buddies coming over, and we're all writing songs at my studio. Come meet us on a Saturday. And one of my friends, yeah, I'm going to try to be there. I said, no, you're not. You're not even invited anymore. What do you mean? I said, you said try because you're thinking if I'm in the mood. Anybody watch The Office? Come on, y'all watch The Office. You know Ryan on there, he's like, after Michael Scott leaves and retires, they're hiring a new boss, and he goes, they do the camera interview on the side, it's a fake reality show. He goes, he's very millennial, and I'm not trying to pick on millennials too much, but a little bit. And he goes, under the former administration, the former manager, I got away with murder, and it wasn't good for me. The new leadership, I want to be led. But don't lead to be led. That just cracks me up because some of you are doing this when I'm in the mood for it. You have to, there isn't no be in the mood for it. I have kids. Do you think I wake up in the morning in the mood to take him to school? I'm like, oh gosh, kids, could you call an Uber? I am not taking you to school. Holy cow, you're 11 and 12. Here's my credit here. I'm just going to call an Uber. Take my kids to school. I'm going to sleep in. I wish I could do that, but I can't. So when you take your obligations so seriously, and guess who the obligation is? To yourself. You've been given a gift. You've been given a desire. You've been given a dream. This is Dinner with Dreamers, right? Yeah? You've been given a dream. And some of you are doing very little to make those dreams come true. But one thing you're doing is you're here. And you're building relationships with each other and community. But that's the thing. You cannot quit.
Okay, does anyone have a question? Wait, can you yell it out? I mean,
What's the best thing for generation? You already sing a lot. What's the best thing to do?
Here's a very, very crucial point that I want everybody to grab and not forget. The way you warm up is the way you're going to sing. And that should make sense to you, because if you see Steph Curry before a basketball game, he sits there like this, the smallest muscles first. And then he's going like this. And then he's like this. And he's doing little small circles with his shoulders and just getting his body warmed up. And then he starts loosening up. And then he starts, what he does, and this is what I tell everybody, I worked with Haley Williams for 9 years from Paramore. And the best description of what we did is every day she teaches herself how to sing all over again. You have to relocate your voice, and you find it faster and faster and faster. Because if you think that every great pro just wakes up and can sing, go listen to my beloved mentor, Seth Riggs, online, coaching Michael Jackson. And Michael's going, and it's on there, and at the very end is and then it's effortless. At first, it sounds like crap. Because he's going, Dirty Diana! Screaming all that, Rata, you and me! Ow! Hoo! Hee hee! You doing that? All that stuff. And then he's got to get up in the morning and do it all over again, and you can't take excuses from your body. If your mind takes excuses from your body, it's because your mind hasn't figured out how to tell your body what to do. You don't have a plan to fix things when you're lost. Human beings are stupid. We are the only animals who run faster when we get lost. Don't steal that line, it's already in one of my songs.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. What's up, talk? I mean, here's the thing.
Mel Blanc is the greatest vocalist of all time. I'm glad somebody said yes. Mel Blanc is on this thing, and he goes, yeah, well, he's on David Letterman back in the day, and he said, well, actually, I'm a bass. And he goes, really?
Those bass? Yeah, well,
Well, you think about Bugs Bunny actually has a low voice and a high resonance.
he found his pharyngeal that, yeah, what's it dog, right?
The personality is in locating your resonators and learning how to activate them at will. So if you're right here, if you're Jimmy Carter, it's called a cheeky sound. Slightly high larynx, swallowed larynx, kind of a swallow in the back of your throat, and he's singing, he's talking into his cheeks, right? The Jimmy Carter? Not a lot of you have heard of him because he's a little bit older. But to be a voiceover actor, it's about finding the qualities of your voice. And you can actually exercise this plastic instrument and define the larynx is capable of making, listen to this, thousands of coordinations. They called Mel Blanc the man of 1,000 voices. And when he did la 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 la, that was Mel Blanc doing that. You remember that?
And the guy's doing anything that banjo all day long.
And they go, Leopold, Leopold, Leopold. And he does the component, and he goes, la. He's holding the glove there forever. I'm glad someone's hand's going like that. His hand's going like this, and everything collapses and falls down on Leopold, the conductor. And then in Bugs Bunny's like, yeah, got you. But he did every voice. And he did the women's voice, what is talking up here? And he did the low voice right down here. Because if you have vocal fry and you have head voice and whistle, which he did, he's squeaky like a mouse. He's up there, and another character. That's one of Mel Blanc's voice. He's talking in whistle voice. The most plastic, flexible voice of all time. So yes, that is my long answer to your question.
Now, when we started today, we talked a lot about, in our warm-ups, about eliminating that break. But how do you work with singers who like to more belt instead of necessarily working with the break to just move things into their voice?
Well, that's a tricky question to answer, but I'm going to take a shot at it. Belt is described as something that's full out all the way up. To not be such a hardliner, like belting is bad and mixing is good, because some people mean the same thing. Just because they call it different, I shouldn't be so harsh and altruistic and judgmental. And I was for years, like, if you're belting, you're going to kill your voice. Well, in my definition of belt is yelling chest voice all the way up. Mixing is in the middle. Belting is, hey, we'll always love you. I hate even doing that for one line. The mix is, mom, 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 mom. It has more power, actually. And it's easy. I will always love you. It doesn't have to break. And so the mix, it has the illusion of belting, but because it's mixing, it's an overlapping of voices like two inverted triangles. Here's the first triangle. There's the top triangle. And these two inverted triangles, you thin out your chest voice as you go, you thin out your chest voice as you go up. This is your chest voice. So as you're going, you're exchanging one resonance, your head voice, for another resonance, your chest voice. A little tired, y'all. No breaks. Even busted up and tired. I'm telling you, the most energy I ever expended my entire life is doing a Masterclass. So I don't like doing them, but I love doing them. Because sometimes there's things you don't like to do and you get a little anxiety about. Very few things have anxiety about. But then you start doing it and you just realize you love it. You don't like it. I don't like this at all, but I love it because it's about calling. So to answer that question, you have to learn how to connect all those places. And a person wants to belt and yell on pitch. I'm like, okay, let me give you a good number to an ear, nose, throat specialist. And you can call me afterwards for your post-op.
Can I put you in my magazine?
What's your magazine?
It's called Give a Little Nashville. We'll chat.
Called what?
Give a Little Nashville.
I would love to. I just said that publicly. Yes.
Now just stop. You don't even know what it's about. It could be bad. No, just
Oh gosh. Okay, the most important thing is that you control your career. And I told this to some of my clients who I got really upset with because they were doing 7 days straight, 15 days straight. One person did the Warp Tour, and she said, I got 27 straight days. I said, so you get to, and you'll hear me say this overall, violate laws with impunity. Violate laws with impunity simply means I violate laws and the penalties don't apply. Yeah, it does. Voice, I'm like, man, I don't know what to tell you. You just keep beating your voice up and thinking you don't need to sleep. I was kind of preaching to myself when I said it. But what you need to do when you're doing those long gigs, you warm up well, you sing conservatively, you don't, if your voice is your cash, right? Don't pull out all your hundreds and throw it on the counter and say, that's all I got the first song. I hear some people come out the first song, this guy comes out saying, when the lights go down in the city, and the sun goes on the bay, and he's yelling his head off, but I see him going like this, oh, what about that? I'm like, oh, you're trying to have sex on the first date. Maybe you ought to court her and put a ring on it, boy. Put a ring on that. Like, get to know her a little bit, man. What are you doing? Why am I talking like Dr. Phil right now? You just don't get it, do you? Now I got books, I got tapes, I got books on tape. But look, here's what happens. These people get out there and they are trying so hard to push their way that they feel like, I just need to impress you. So I'm doing a gig, and let me hope this helps you. I like to tell answers and stories if you haven't figured that out yet. But I have a billion stories, and they're all really good. But this guy, I was singing, he goes like this, hey, you Brett Manning, huh? I said, oh, that's what it says on my library card. And he said, yeah, man, that's cool, man, that's cool. I don't do voice lessons. I go, I know. Which was kind of a dig. He goes, yeah, man, I just never needed him. I said, all right, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like your voice. And I do like the guy's voice. And he gets sit there and he gets his guitar and he strums that first chord. He goes, yeah, oh, yeah. And he was like, it's the harder he sings. So I got up there and I said, okay, I'm going to do this song. It's about a lady who had a little lamb. It's called Mary Had a Little Lamb. And I said, Mary had a little lamb, sweet baby lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. Oh, Mother Mary, where'd you go? Oh, I get to the end and I sing the second verse and I said, Mary had to watch her lamb, sweet baby lamb, little lamb. Mary had to watch her lamb suffer on a cross. Whoa, Mother Mary, so much loss. Oh, and thanks. No, it's kind of different. But this guy, I think we're, okay, we got to finish. This guy came up to me and he said, "Can I get your card?" He said, "Every time I sing, I'm good for 2 songs that blow my voice out, and I don't know anything else except for just sing as hard as I can to impress people." And he learned that I said, sometimes when you get competitive, the best thing you do is just pull back. Tap the brakes, man. Don't give all your gas. Don't pay everything. And he was like, wow. And I sang full out later on. I was like, but I don't spend more money than you have. Listen to that guy on the radio who says, "How you doing? I'm better than I deserve." Dave Ramsey. Don't spend money. Don't spend the money you don't have. If you're spending voice, you sing with the voice you have today, then train to get the voice you want. You do that, you can sing 2-3 hours. But if you're losing your voice, my simple solution is don't sing as long. People say, "Well, I have to." No, you don't have to do anything. And this girl didn't have to do 27 dates in a row and blow her voice out. She said, "But I have to." I said, "No, you don't. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to get up in the morning. You don't have to go to work." "Well, there's consequences." Yeah, there is, but you don't have to do that. So you decide your own destiny. You take responsibility for yourself, and this is what I do, and this is what I won't do.
So we could be here all night. He has such a wealth of knowledge and wisdom. And there was one more question, real quick. Vocal rest. Do you recommend it?
I just put a very famous producer in Nashville, I'm going to say his name, but a very famous producer in Nashville, I just put his daughter on vocal rest, and she's a great singer. But he came in and he says, "She got these nodules." I said, "Yeah, but you don't have them." He said, "Yeah, I know." I said, "How come you don't have them?" He said, "Well, I do, I warm up a little bit." He doesn't warm up a lot. But he's a great singer. He's lost his voice a couple times. But he came and showed me the pictures. I said, "Those nodules, they're not lying. The pictures don't lie. The sound concerns me. The pictures scare me worse." So yeah, I put people on vocal rest, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 2 months. And throat doctors will do that too. Better to rest 2 months than 2 years, huh? After a surgery. The rest is sometimes you never ever get your voice back. After Whitney blew her voice out singing "I Have Nothing," she goes, "Don't make me close one more door," and then it'll keep changing, "Don't make me close one more door." She's straining and yelling her head off because she was having a bad day, and she kept pushing harder and harder. Got lost. Humans, the only animals who run faster when they get lost. She pushed so hard, she blew her voice out on stage in South Africa, walked off and was coughing up blood. She hemorrhaged a vocal cord, tore it. So they sutured open, put it together, sewed it back up together, put some kind of a paste on there, did some stem cell research before they ever had that, tried to regenerate, and her voice was never the same. Right? So, an ounce of prevention is worth not a pound, but a ton of cure.
Thank you. Brett, thank you so much for all of your wisdom and so it's getting close to 10 and we have to be mindful of Cabana because they need to clean up. So if we're gonna talk, we can kind of move toward the outside because they do close at 10. But if you would like to have his program, they're selling it here over at that table, I believe. And if you can't take lessons from Brett or from his incredible team, really the next best thing is the program, and it works. The program works. It's world renowned. Thank you for coming. Watch for the other music events that we're going to have. And it's been an incredible night. Thanks, Brett.
That was awesome. Give him one more big baller round of applause. Okay. To reiterate, I want to make these people happy so they don't hate my guts and let us use this place again if I need. So I want everybody. You have to meet a stranger. That's a requirement here. If you don't meet a stranger, I know about it. And but you meet one stranger because there's some cool people. There's some cool people here that have some amazing stories. And so when you just meet people, you meet random, interesting people. Nobody here. Like this guy, he used to be on Broadway. That guy over there, he's got multiple platinum records that he's mixed and produced. We got a guy, Bill right there. Bill, me and Bill, we are going next week, and Kenny, and we are going to go take Johnny Cash's grandson into Folsom Prison to do a concert. 50 years. 50 years. So this is going to be the coolest day ever. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. And then, come here, Nan, real quick. She's got something going on. I want to tell that. And then, now, did everybody pay? I'm really nice, but I'm not going to pay your bill. But, okay.
And I paid. Hi, I just want to announce that the Franklin International Independent Film Festival is November 1st through 4th in Franklin. We have 67 films from 14 countries. And it's going to be great. And on Sunday all day we devote to faith in film. So on Sunday we'll have Kevin Sorbos' new film, and we have The Summer of '67. And then on Monday we're having a small seminar which is called The Women of Hollywood, because the majority of faith-based films are written by women. So we have an interest in helping them get their films made. So love to talk to you another time when I see you. Hi. And so hope to see you at one of our events or at one of the film festivals. It'll be in Franklin, Tennessee, and you can find it by looking up FIIFF, Franklin International Indie Film Festival.org. Okay, thank you.
FIFFF. I'll post about that at some point whenever.